To believe that billionaires and large corporations have your best interest in mind is probably the most naive thing that you can ever think. There's always a nefarious agenda in what they try to sell you, and so much done is in the name of helping humanity. Exhibit one, and probably the most nefarious, is lab grown meat and how that industry is moving forward. So, as far as we know, lab grown meat is a failing industry. One of the biggest lab grown meat companies is the Israeli company Stakeholders. Their stock in 2021 was worth $755 per share. Very good. And then it dropped down all the way to today, as of the recording of this video, to $1.75 per share. So that is a 99.7% drop. And so, how and why are they failing? How do you get people to buy the squoy slop? The competition is better, is the reason why. And that competition is actual red meat because people don't want to buy the lab grown cut. So, what you have to do in order to make your business thrive is that you have to cut out the competition. You have to make the red meat inaccessible in some way, shape, or form. There's already attempts to do this in marketing to eat the fake stuff instead of the real stuff because you're polluting the environment or whatever propaganda they were throwing at us at the time. And so now we're in a situation where they're trying to make us cut it out permanently. So if you have your competition cut out permanently and then you're the only thing on the market, that is how you win. And this is where the evil agenda gets revealed. And the evil agenda is a little bug called the Lone Star tick. This, if you get bitten by this Lone Star tick, you are going to develop what is called, I believe it's called AGS, which is basically a syndrome that makes you allergic to red meat. I think it's called alpha-gal syndrome. So there's already, as of the recording of this video, over 450,000 cases in the United States, which is a huge skyrocket compared to what we have seen in previous years. So if you get a bite from this tick, then you can no longer eat red meat. So you can say goodbye to hamburgers and cheeseburgers. And then you'll have to say hello to the slop that they made in a lab. And the agenda isn't even hidden. During a World Economic Forum session, there was a bioethicist there by the name of S. Matthew Lau, who said that humans eat too much meat. I'll just read you his direct quote. He says, "People eat too much meat, right? And if they were to cut down on their consumption of meat, it would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case where they are intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. There's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, that if it bites you, you will become allergic to meat." And so it's already out in the open. They want to use these ticks and populate these ticks to get everyone allergic to meat, and so then you have to eat the fake stuff. And an interesting connection that some have more or less speculated about, it's not confirmed, there's lots of denial about it, is about the Bill Gates connection. So Bill Gates is a part of the World Economic Forum, so he has that connection there. He's the first to get FDA approval in 2023 for his lab-grown meat for his company called Upside Down Foods, and he could certainly weaponize these Lone Star ticks to take advantage on some sort of level. And of course, that's all speculative. That's what a lot of people are saying online, but there's no confirmed reports. There's some saying that he genetically engineered them, and these were made in a lab and now are much more populous than they were previously. So they're trying to poison you, and then you can't eat red meat anymore, and they sell you the cure, fake red meat. And then this is also done on a small scale, just on business level. This is just the more evil side of it, right? If you think about YouTube ads are a big problem. You're getting so many ads, the ads are longer, they're unskippable. And so there's this big problem, and the company that perpetuates that problem, YouTube, will then sell you the solution through YouTube Premium to go ad-free. Spotify is unusable if you do not have Spotify Premium. And these corporations and billionaires are never agents of goodwill. And one example that people might think about is the COVID vaccine. The COVID pandemic came, and then you need the COVID vaccine, and then everyone needed to take it because it was free and life-saving. That's what they said. But what is interesting is that the Epstein files revealed that there were talks of a pandemic simulation. So that might have been the case. And if this was such a benevolent thing and it's free and life saving, then why isn't chemotherapy free? Why isn't insulin free? Those are free and potentially life saving things for cancer patients and patients with diabetes. If it was life saving, then they would probably try to genuinely make money off of it like they do everything else. The COVID-19 vaccine was an anomaly for its time. It was probably honestly a test for control. See how controllable you are, because so many places said you had to get vaccinated or you are out. Even my dad lost a job because he would not take the vaccine, and then we had to move to a different state. It wasn't a benevolent thing, it was a test by the powers that be to see how controllable you actually are. So, billionaires and corporations never have your interest in mind. They are after an evil agenda for more money and more control over the world. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.